You boys been up to anything fun in that 2 weeks off?
No.
Yeah.
Not really, no. Just sort of listened to some old episodes of Podiots.
Oh, that's quite nice.
That's what I did, yeah.
Really? I don't think I've ever listened back to a full episode of Podiots.
Oh, haven't you?
I listened to each one twice.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, are we actually entertaining? Is it a good podcast?
Like it.
No?
I'd highly recommend it. In fact, if anyone's listening right now hasn't tried out the Podiots podcast, you should definitely give it a go. It's go to youtube.com/Vidiots official. It's uploaded there.
Wait, why is the channel called Vidiots if it's called Podiots? That's really confusing.
There was like that whole thing where they got cancelled for some reason. I don't
One
really
of them
know
did
why.
something terrible.
Yeah,
really awful. I heard.
all of them did.
If I may offer a counterpoint, I think Podiots is really bad. So if you've not listened to Podiots, don't listen to Podiots.
Right. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fuck me, it's
Just
it's hard work.
yeah. Read like don't listen to a bit of it and make your mind up. Like read a description and base your entire judgment off that, or even an episode title. Like if it's got poo in it, you know you're in for a real treat.
That's good advice. Go off all of the episode titles and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, cool. Well, check it out or don't. It's up to you.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the three us, where everybody brings a thing
along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
All right, chaps, how's it going or not?
Kiki, I'm a proper caddy like.
So we need to record two intros, actually. I didn't mention this to you guys. This is the one where it's come home, and then we need to record another one where it's not come home.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just take it from you've introduced yourselves. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Just to save on recording space, you can use my reaction for either, which is that I don't really care that much.
Right, we'll clip that.
Yeah.
Mikey, that can go anywhere.
Yeah,
you can use that anywhere.
Cool.
I'm now going to ask you, Michael, a question.
Yeah.
This is for the It's Come Home version. Mm-hmm. So how many burning police cars did you dodge over the past couple of days, Michael?
Lining the streets, Ben. It's a lovely source of warmth and it's saving me on the heating bill, so I'm for it. Burn all the police cars you can
about
see.
Burning police cars. I really, take them or leave them, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't make you feel anything?
No. Maybe a tiny bit of, national pride, but, there's so much to be ashamed of in this country that, it doesn't do a great deal for me.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's one.
Yeah.
Second intro, I don't know if anyone's got any ideas to kick us off for that one. This is where it's not come home.
Actually, Ben, could you ask me how many burning police cars I've seen again?
Yeah, sure. That is relevant. Michael, how many burning police cars have you seen over the past couple of days?
Oh, so many. The country's in tatters. There's grown men crying on the streets, but hey, at least it's keeping me warm.
Brilliant. Peter, how do you feel about burning police cars? Just out of interest.
Don't really mind.
Not really asked.
Have you guys? It's an important public service announcement. If any of you see it anywhere, could you please tell it that we're worried sick? It's not been home for far longer than is usual for its normal behaviour now. Yeah, and we just want it to know that we love it, we care about it, and we don't mind what's happened. Just please come home, please. Your mother's worried sick.
Yeah. She is.
And if you know where it is, if any of you are watching, please get in contact with Crime Stoppers.
Yeah, thank you. I think there's going to be a special watchdog about the matter, but due to the time difference in it leaving and it hopefully returning, about 60 years, you said, they've had to do some age progression images. So it's not quite accurate, but it should at least give you a basis of what it looks like.
Okay.
We all mocked it, but has this been a sort of 25-year viral glitch campaign? Like a guerrilla marketing for glitch.
What is it?
What is it?
Will
Glitch,
it come home?
It's coming home.
It's coming.
Glitch, the gift that keeps on giving, except
I know.
it didn't.
Eventually they'll do Glitch, and we'll have to stop talking about it. Maybe they'll invite us. I don't think they will.
No.
We've given them more marketing than anyone else.
We haven't stopped talking about them for
viral
3 years.
fucking song.
That's the way to do it, I suppose. To do Glitch. Is to
Glitch, what is it?
not actually put the event on to the point that everyone talks about how it never happened, and then about 10 years later or 60 years later, whatever you like, suddenly, Glitch, it's actually happening. The long-awaited event.
The best event to never happen.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. God, that would have been a much better cold open. We really do take a minute to get warmed up, don't we?
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah,
we still deliver the gold, don't we, Michael?
Oh, you're damn right. We should just do those cold opens, but not actually include them. I think that would be a proper way of doing things. But no, we like to leave everything in. Like
Do
to
a
leave the
fake
fat
one
and
at
the
the
gristle.
start, and then once we're warmed up with the fake cold open, do the real one, right?
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
The problem is that we often have really just the funniest fucking chats as soon as we get in the Discord call, and then it's before only once in recent memory have we stopped ourselves and said, should we just record and talk about this?
Yeah.
Well, that's on us. If you produce gold so regularly like we do, you can't always record all of it, can you? It's just too much. It overfloweth.
It's hard to tell when you're producing gold sometimes when it happens all the time. You just don't even realize. Oh, that was a bit more gold there. Oh, well.
God, did you see that gold? Look at it go. Yeah. It's flipping gone. Yes, this is our... Some people call it a comedy podcast. It's called Podiots. We as I said in the intro, we bring along some things, each of us, that we found. We answer some questions. But at the beginning and the end of the show, we always like to give a shout out to our fantastic, supportive Pod Squad. And you can join Pod Squad by going to streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. If you donate £3 or more, you get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show, and you join that special Pod Squad. Mikey, you got the first bunch there?
You're damn right. And we're starting strong with the wonderful, the spectacular Hitler's Nazi Minge Binge. Thank you.
Oh,
there we go. Specky Becky. Cheggerel Nobbage. I think that says thank you. Awesome Fox 42. Katiekin Solo. Release Mikey Cut Skyrim Zoo. Maybe I'll just release the whole footage. Why not? An excellent massage. Stukalicious.
Message.
Oh, God. An excellent
massage.
An excellent message. There we go. Nailed it. Stukalicious. OG Lola Bunny Porn. Donak 07. I was worried I mispronounced that one, but no, we're just laughing at it. That's okay. We're fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like it that it's OG Lola Bunny Porn.
Not the new one.
Not the new stuff. No, it's changed.
Very quickly, is a Looney Tunes as relevant as they were in the 90s with kids? Because for starters, I have a feeling that this film is only going to appeal to people who are 30. Mm-hmm. And secondly, is King James as popular and as well known as Michael Jordan? I mean, I know we're speaking from a UK perspective where basketball does not have the stranglehold on popular culture as it does in the States.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think I would have known who Michael Jordan was if not for Space Jam. So True. It's kind of
that's me too, yeah.
Self-fulfilling thing. Like the fact that whoever was going to be in Space Jam 2 would have become the new Michael Jordan, effectively, just by virtue of being in a Looney Tunes film.
I watched the trailer at the cinema last night. It's the first time I've seen a trailer for the new Space Jam, and I was just so uninterested in it.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm interested in it is purely to look at all the crowd in the background, because it's just full of Warner Brothers franchises, and like they've got Tim Burton's Batman villains in there, like Danny DeVito's Penguin and stuff like that.
Oh, amazing!
Stephen King's It is coming home. And they're all going to be there, the Iron Giant and stuff. That's all I care about, so I might watch it just for that. Fair. The Mystery Machine is there, and DeLorean, maybe DeLorean.
So they've gone for like a Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that thing. Look at the thing. Woo.
Do you recognize it? I do recognize it. What's happening in this film? It doesn't matter. Look at the things.
Look, there's Fred Flintstone.
I love Fred Flintstone. He's in this film.
Best.
Brilliant. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be good. I just wanted to say that. And Lola Bunny was a sexual awakening moment for many people.
For sure.
Yeah, that impact can't be replicated no matter how hard you try. Saying that, the bunny from, what was the sexy bunny called from the 3D one? Like
Thingy Hops.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I thought I was just going to out myself there.
With the wrong bunny. Yeah, Bugs Bunny. The sexy
one. I've outed myself.
You did.
Judy
You went
Hopps.
Straight in there. Judy Hopps, yeah.
Judy Hopps. No, everyone knows that
she's an acclaimed sex icon. Anyway, let's
keep going.
Let me just say, I've seen some horrible banner ads with Judy Hopps in them.
Yeah. There's a GIF that frequently goes around on Imgur, which is meant to sort of upset people, where Judy Hopps is rubbing her toes together. And it's really weird.
And well animated, probably.
Yeah, it's like upsettingly realistic. Yeah.
The budget that goes into animated pornography is absolutely appalling.
There's a market. There's a market for it. People want it. Not me, but people want it. Sorry, Michael, you were saying?
Pod Squad. The generous, sorry for being, you've had this run up, but Magic Thighs was very generous, and they've said, last night and night before, there was 3 women walking down the street that way. I saw them, and I said, hey, you 3 women, why are you all walking down the street that way? There's nothing down there. And they flew away. I said, them were some birds.
Have you seen this video?
No.
It's just a guy approaching someone else in a car park, and he just says this out loud and then walks off.
Oh, gosh.
It's amazing.
I have seen this. It's all in the delivery, and I butchered that with my very attempted clean delivery of it.
It's a great video. You can just search "them were some birds."
I can imagine that you can, yeah.
Thank you, Magic Thighs.
Thank you.
Teenage Mutant Bastard Crabs. Cheath Kegwin, R.I.P. Cishet Fuckboy Cheggers, good. Lord Brotovich, Pro Trainer, Fred Webber, Dove's Lick. Yep, I did pronounce that right.
You did.
Steven Scodes, Big Titty Jesus, 42. The Bus What Couldn't Slow Down, and the generous Addy Pramana, 7. Hi boys, I wanted to let you know that I passed my thesis defense today, and I could honestly say I wouldn't have been able to get here without the help of 3 internet boys playing video games and messing around. Thank you for making the hard days easier.
Congratulations, Addy.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, well done, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job. Dogging with Dick and Dom. The Bus What Couldn't Slow Down. Spread Pachiti Beans. And Ben is my lover.
It's actually pronounced Venus, my lover.
Venus?
As in Venus and Butthead.
Yeah.
Venus, my lover. Oh, love it.
An erotic tale.
The tiny troop this fortnight consists of Jason Allenby, Mr. Macca, Prince Beefcakes, Always an Adventure, Cherry got engaged, or is that Cherry? Cheri? Kerry,
Yeah,
Cherry?
I think so, yeah.
Cherie Blair. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Axel's Alive 95. Shreddy Murphy's Donkey. Laurie Wales Yee Laws. Okay. Deluxe Man on Tweeter Twatter, who was very generous and said, lads or ladies, I had my first Domino's in 3 years a few weeks back. Happy to report, no bum piss. However, I did get stomach cramps the day after. Is Domino's cramp a recognised condition? Anyway, love you all. Praise be to the mighty Meatface.
Praise be.
I think the stomach cramps are one rung down to the bum piss. I think if you'd had too much more, it would have...
I'd say one rung up. You go one rung down. You can't get much lower than that, can you?
True.
Yeah, I mean, as though you're climbing the ladder towards disaster. That's what I mean.
Those cramps of your body trying its very best to keep in the bum piss. And successfully it did it. So congratulations, you've got a stomach of stone.
That line, climbing the ladder towards disaster, is fucking brilliant. It sounds like something that Scott Steiner would say in like a sweaty, out-of-breath wrestling promo. Climbing the ladder towards disaster. And then he just has a coronary and dies.
Oh, no. Don't do it. Grumble Wank Boppis McGraw. Swinging with the Crankies. Cheeky Neil Buchanan. Oh, wow, that's a good one. Cheeky Neil Buchanandos.
Nay, very good.
Cheggers Peggers Play Pop. Dave Bacon Phillips, who was stupidly generous. That's a very big number there. And said, everyone that listens and supports this podcast is not only a great person, but proof that we, as a species, are going to be just fine.
Okay. All right, Dave. Whatever you say.
Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much,
Being
Dave.
so generous.
Amazing.
Scott Chegg, which is very clever. Cares of Gallifrey.
Peter liked that one.
I was waiting for you guys to react more to that. I was pretty impressed with Scott.
It took me a second to get it. That is fantastic.
Scott Chegg.
Scott Chegg.
Cares of Gallifrey. Shart Trek Wrath of Dominoes. Energetic cat or spunky pussy. Living, breathing poo factory. Tiny Peter Big Bumpus. Ben's oily bread. Cheggly Searides. Finn Tristram. And Rootin' Tootin' Vladimir Putin.
Nice.
We've also got the very generous, but wait, there's more, who said, hey lads, you're all so sexy and lovely, and I'm very proud of you all. Listening to episode 80 reminded me of the time my mum ordered a lawnmower from Homemade, and when it was delivered, the sealed box contained the mower and an actual poo. An actual poo. I thought it said pool, like a swimming pool. An actual poo. Baffling.
The sealed box.
Wow. Really?
With just a little...
Mr.
The lawnmower got scared and trembled.
Missed an opportunity there by not reaching out to a local newspaper. You could have got yourself a voucher.
You could.
You could have done. Yeah, amazing. Then we move on to the obscenely generous I Love You Miss Cornforth, who said, hello lads, me and the fiancé have been big fans of yours since the redacted days. Just want to say thank you for all your content and also give a shout out to my almost wife. I have been away in Texas training for the last few months and I miss her muchly.
People communicating via Podiots, that's sweet.
That's nice, even though we're a bit late on this one because we didn't do one the other week. But even so, thank you so much. And thank you for your support and congratulations on the impending ceremony.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we love you too, Miss Cornforth.
We do.
Yeah, we do. We all do. Mike OX Small or Mike Ox Small, Friar Took. Michael, have we had that one before? Because that's really
Mike
simple.
Oxmall.
It's great.
Did you get that?
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
I see. I got you. You had to say
That's
it.
very good.
You had to say it. That was it. Friar Took.
That's a banger.
Michael Schumacher SSX mod. That's fucking dark, that one. A sub and Dom in the bungalow. Michael Jugson's mum's jugs. Dave Benson nip slips. Mars bar. Chegger doesn't... Hang on. Cheggers doesn't do camel case. Thank you. Just Jake. Perfect. Hang on. Perfect. Milk. Whoa. What is happening here? Ektka. Melka.
Perfect camel case.
Am I missing something?
That's a tricky.
Perfect.
You
tricky
bastards.
devils.
Case. Oh.
Completely threw me. Non-upple jump. A well-trained bear. Just keep swimming, Ash. Jobby Jabaloony. Mikey's Detol Twitch stream. Mr. Macca. Loud Dabadi Dabarchinko. I think. The very generous, no witty name, so Nick Gage, who said, sorry, TP, I'll put it in camel case this time. These podcasts are the highlight of my fortnight. How you boys, in brackets, boys, keep it fresh every time, I just don't know. Also, Ben, if anyone ever accuses you of owing them £20 again, use this. Stay funky, bros.
Thank you.
Nick
For context,
Gage.
That was a £20 donation. Just thought, yeah.
There was. Just in case people want it. Kevin from Con, Big Titty Jesus 42, you donated $4.20, very nice. Neil Buchanan's fart attack, fuck my fuck you fuck,
Nice.
and Connor rolls his ankles. And there you go. That is the pod
God.
squad for this week. It's a hefty one. Thank you so much, everybody. Once again, streamlabs.com/Podiots donations, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show.
I just did some Googling and realised why Michael Schumacher SSX mod is as dark as it is.
It's not good, is it?
I forgot that's how it happened. I thought it was in a driving accident, but no.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
We don't need to
I just
talk
wanted
about
to address that because I laughed at the time, and
That's the funniest
that's
one.
great. But just for the absurdity that there would be a themed mod, but I've realised what it is. Anyway, Michael Johnson.
Always an adventure. A podcast with Sam and Alex on Twitter. I can't see your handle. Sorry, it's cut off. But all I see is
I think it's always an adventure podcast. If memory serves,
it's at AAA_A ...
Well, that shows me, doesn't it? Look at that. See, you could find it. You just wanted to make me sound stupid.
I can only see the first 4 letters. Anyway, he says, sorry, proper question. I think there was another question before this one. But football, it's the season after all. It's kind of crap. Oh, there's a lot of people who disagree with you there.
Wow.
How would you change it to make things a bit spicier? So, this is coming out but 2 days after the finale. So we've got a chance here to reinvigorate the sport, depending on the outcome, regardless of the outcome. Like, how do we get a new audience in? Because I feel like football's kind of peaked in who it reaches. We need to go to the football haters.
There's a completely different. There's 2 different directions for this question. Like, it was, how would you change it? I've got a lot of opinions on how I would change it, but to make it more spicy, that's a whole different thing. I was about to go off on one about diving and just how ridiculous.
That's what would make you watch it.
No. Before it was to make it spicy, I was going to say, for God's sake, like, it's just so embarrassing the fact that people dive on football. I think that might be half the reason I don't watch it, is that I just can't bear the people who play it or the tactics that they employ.
Kind of amusing though when they're on the floor for 10 seconds and then the ball starts going in the right direction and they spring up, and that's kind of amusing. But it's
amusing in that sense. Yeah. But to make it more spicy, I don't know.
I think following on from the dives thing, I say if someone takes a dive and it's revealed that it is in fact a false dive and they're not actually injured, there's a designated ankle snapper in the stadium to give them a bloody reason to dive.
They do. They commit the attack or the injury on them that they were pretending that they had.
Yeah. Oh my God. There'd be no one left at the end of the tournament, just a bunch of limping weak men. I've always been kind of partial to the thought of sudden death, so that it hits a certain time. So let's say rather than going into extra time, you still do extra time, but it's just first one to score a goal wins. So it's it's a game of speed and attack and just people throwing themselves at it and just going all out just to get that goal. We
used to play that at school. We called it golden goal.
Ooh.
Which is just that. If kind of time was up or something, it would be first, next goal wins kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see professionals doing that. That sounds like a hoot.
Yeah. A hoot?
Oh.
I would like, similar to how I think there should be a separate Olympics for people who have doped, I feel like there should be a football league where everyone's on drugs, just to see how far the human body can go in that sport when altered with substances.
Would you have 2 separate leagues, one for stimulants and one for depressants, or throw them all on the same pitch?
I think you can do whatever you want. There's a clean league and there's a dirty league, is what we'll call it, the dirty league, and it's just mayhem. It's just people die super young who play in it because their hearts get poorly, and but they're so quick. While they're so fast, while they're there, you know,
they're
just so fucking fast.
That's it. Fast football, speed football, speed ball. Everyone's on speed. Best game ever.
How fast can we make football? That's what we really need to ask. And I think pretty fast. I think there's a lot of room for improvement with narcotics and blood doping and all sorts of other things like that. Get it done. Make it happen.
I would like to see a football pitch like one of those really, really horrible food farms where you can barely move. There's that many people there. So, when you see a turkey shed or something and it's just shoulder-to-shoulder turkeys, I want there to be 200 people, a team, and one ball, and maybe a goal that stretches the width of the end of the field. And it's just absolute chaos. It's just a swarm. It's like something from Dead Rising or something like that. Everyone trying to swarm this ball and kicking each other, because there's no way that a referee can even see what's going on. So people will be kicking each other in the shins, and you even as a spectator, you won't really see the ball, but you'll see where the mass of people is like moving around the field, and you can assume the ball is in the middle of that. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan. Right, get on it, UEFA. This is it. This is how you make your, well, they're already making billions, but your trillions.
Yeah, this is how you get everyone.
This is how you kill every professional footballer in your ranks.
Absolutely.
I will say, I am glad. Well, it's not being every match, but the football car, they've definitely spiced up football with that. Have you seen that?
The football car.
It's a little toy car that they put a football in, and they drive it into the pitch to deliver the football to the players.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's brilliant. What does it look like? Do you have?
I think it's got like a verified Twitter account as well.
Of course it does. Thinking about driving on the pitch tonight.
Oh wait, UEFA football car. Tiny football cars, what it's colloquially.
Tiny football car.
It's adorable. Look at it.
Is it like branded? Is it like a Mercedes?
It's a Volkswagen.
Or something. Audi.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm putting in the wrong fucking chat.
Just sending it to your mum.
Send that to my mum.
Oh, there it is. It's
it.
very much branded, isn't it? It's got VW all over it.
All over it.
I love it.
What does it say on the back? On the light? Because it's got a little license plate as well.
Oh,
reg. Is that?
Yeah.
VW1 or something.
The model of car, yeah. Something got to get that extra branding in there.
Okay. Oh, this image isn't big enough for me to zoom in on. Yeah, it looks like it's just a model of a car, but yeah, I am a big fan of that. Yeah.
Amazing. Stick that in a dump for everyone to see.
Lovely dump. Take a look at our dumps.
There we go.
Who would like
Done.
to do their thing?
Guys, can I please do my thing? I have so much to make up for after I told a story about a man who died on a mountain.
Yes, go for it, Ben.
Absolutely.
Really need to pull this back. I've turned to Twitter, where I saw a fun thread a few weeks ago from Jack Stentz at MuseJack. And this is about a radical wolf. Would you like to see it?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
It sounds like the coolest wolf ever. Just opened Slack. That's not where I want to send that. Nearly made the same mistake Mikey did. There we go. That wolf right there is called Yellowstone Wolf 21.
Cool.
Cool.
So let's learn about it. So this is a combination of Jack's tweets and also screenshots of various articles. So I'm just going to read all of it. I've gone down a rabbit hole of reading about the life of Yellowstone Wolf 21, who seems to have been the wolf equivalent of the Buddha crossed with Batman. In his entire life, he never lost a fight and never killed a defeated enemy. What a legend. Wow. So here's the first little excerpt here. 21 was remarkably gentle with the members of his pack, says Rick. I don't know who Rick is. Immediately after making a kill, he would often walk away to urinate or lie down and nap, allowing family members who'd had nothing to do with the hunt eat their fill. One of 21's favourite things was to wrestle with little pups, and what he really loved to do, Rick adds, was to pretend to lose. He just got a huge kick out of it. Here was this great big male wolf, and he'd let some little wolf jump on him and bite his fur. He'd just fall on his back with his paws in the air, Rick half mimes, and the triumphant-looking little ones would be standing over him with his tail wagging.
Oh, that's cute.
The ability to pretend, Rick adds, shows that you understand how your actions are perceived by others. It indicates high intelligence. I'm sure the pups knew what was going on, but it was a way for them to learn how it feels to conquer something much bigger than you. And that kind of confidence is what wolves need every day of their hunting lives. So that's one little bit there.
Inspiring.
Zach says, he shared his kills and was a gentle and nurturing dad and uncle. 21 was the male role model we all need. He continues, 21 was even merciful towards the sexy bad boy of the wolf world. He knew what he was doing. So here's the next little bit. In 21's life, there was a particular male, a sort of roving Casanova, a continual annoyance. He was strikingly good looking, had a big personality, and was always doing something interesting. I don't know who wrote this. Maybe the wolf wrote this. The best single word is charisma, says Rick. Female wolves were happy to mate with him. People loved him. His irresponsibility and infidelity, it didn't matter. One day, 21 discovered this Casanova among his daughters. 21 ran in, caught him, and began biting and pinning him to the ground. Various pack members piled in, beating Casanova up. Casanova was also big, Rick says, but he was a bad fighter. Now he was totally overwhelmed and the pack was finally killing him. Suddenly, 21 steps back. Everything stops. The pack members are looking at 21 as if saying, why has Dad stopped? The Casanova wolf jumped up and, as always in such situations, ran away.
Wow.
But Casanova kept causing problems for 21. Why didn't 21 just kill him so he wouldn't have to deal with him anymore? It didn't make sense until years later. Fast forward to after 21's death. He does die, I'm really sorry. Casanova briefly became the Druid Pack's alpha male. I'm assuming the Druid Pack is the pack that 21 was in charge of. But he wasn't effective, Rick recalls. He didn't know what to do, just not a leader personality. And although it's very rare for a younger brother to depose an older one, that's what happened to him. Casanova didn't mind. It meant he was free to wander and meet other females. Eventually, Casanova, along with several young Druid males, met some females and they all formed another pack. With them, Rick remembers, he finally became the model of a responsible alpha male and a great father. Meanwhile, the mighty druids were ravaged and weakened by mange and diminished by inter-pack fighting. The last druid was shot near Butte, Montana, in 2010. Casanova, though he had been averse to fighting, died in a fight with a rival pack, but everyone in his pack remained uninjured, including grandchildren and great-grandchildren of 21. Oh. Wolves can't foresee such plot twists any more than people can, but evolution does. Its calculus integrates long averages. By sparing the Casanova wolf, 21 actually helped assure himself more surviving descendants, and, in evolution, surviving descendants are the only currency that matters.
Ooh.
So this 21 is just a fucking
baller.
Real
just
big
the
boy
baddest
fucking legend.
Ass.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of a harsh struggle for survival, 21 looked out for the underdog, is the next tweet. So, in strictly survivalist terms, should a wolf let his rival go free? Is restraint an effective strategy for accumulating benefits? I think the answer is yes, if you can afford it, because sometimes your enemy today becomes tomorrow a vehicle for your legacy. What Rick saw play out over those years might be just the kinds of events that are the basis for magnanimity in wolves and at the heart of mercy in men. Early on, when 21 was young and still living with his mother, an adoptive father, one of their new pups was not acting normal. The other pups were a bit afraid of him and wouldn't play with him. One day, 21 brought back some food for the small pups, and after feeding them, he just stood there, looking around for something. Soon, he started wagging his tail. He'd been looking for the sickly little pup, Rick says, and finding him, he just went over to hang out with him for a while.
Aww.
Rick suddenly seems to be searching inside himself for something deeper he wants to express. Then he looks at me, saying simply, "Of all the stories I have about 21, that's my favourite. Strength impresses us, but what we remember is kindness."
Aww. What a gentleman.
And finally, it's time to learn about how 21 went out.
Oh no, I don't want to, Ben.
And when it was time for 21 to die, he went out on his own terms, like the noble soul he was. We should all be so lucky. Here we go. The majority of wolves die violently, which is a good start.
Yeah.
Despite a violent, eventful life, even by wolf standards, 21 distinguished himself to the very end. He was a black wolf who greyed with the years and became one of the few Yellowstone wolves to die of old age. One June day, when 21 was 9 years old, his family was lying bedded down when an elk came by. Everyone jumped up to give chase. He jumped up too, but just stood watching the action and then lay down again. Later, when the pack headed toward the den site, 21 crossed the valley in the opposite direction, travelling purposefully somewhere alone. Sometime later, a visitor who'd been way up high in the backcountry reported having seen something very unusual, a dead wolf. Rick got a horse and rode up to investigate. That last day, it seems, 21 knew his time had come. He used the last of his energy to go up to the top of a high mountain. In a favourite family rendezvous site where he'd been with his pups year after year, amid summer grass and mountain wildflowers, 21 curled up in the shade of a big tree, and on his own terms, he went to sleep for the last time.
That's very sweet, but oh God, it's so sad.
They're all good boys, Michael. They're all good boys.
The goodest of boys.
I won't go any further than that, but the thread, you should be able to find it, is really good. It goes on to talk about 21's mate, 42, who had a life at least as dramatic as his. She was nicknamed the Cinderella Wolf for how she was brutalised and dominated by a cruel older sister before coming into her own. 42 was 21's equal and more. It's all kicking off in Yellowstone, the wolf situation. So there we are. a fun story. Well, I suppose it's not fun. A cool story about a rad wolf. I just thought that was interesting because we don't have wolves here. And
God, that's amazing.
Just thought it was intriguing to see that sort of behaviour documented in such a fashion.
Have you guys seen that video of the massive black wolf that a dog is barking at? And
no,
hang on, let me.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Giant wolf chases dog. The dog is fine, by the way.
Okay, good.
So it's a bit of a slow start. You can just see in the distance a wolf like lying in the grass. Well, you can barely see it really, but it's like some ears sticking up. And then right towards the end, as the dog gets close to this wolf, the wolf stands up. And when you get the sense of scale, you suddenly realize that this wolf is like twice as big as a dog. It's insanely big.
Jesus Christ!
It's like a...
Wow, that's a big boy.
Isn't it? It's like a horse.
God! Yeah, literally double the size. Wow.
Flipping
Makes the trees look tiny.
I love how the owner was just filming it until things predictably went bad. Now, what are you doing, you idiot?
What can you do in that situation when there's like a horse-sized wolf in front of you? Do you even dare go near that thing?
I'd like to think that we all would imagine ourselves doing what that Australian bloke did in that video where he punches
That's what I was thinking of.
kangaroo in the face.
This dog is in it.
Just go up and thump the wolf. No. Sure, that'll work.
Yeah.
Roll up a newspaper.
Naughty.
Boop him. Bad dog. So yeah, I've gone from a story about a man dying on a mountain to a dog dying on a mountain. Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed that one more.
Lovely. I love that.
Who dies on a mountain next time?
Find out. I love that one of the takeaways from that is let your enemies live because someday they may become cannon fodder to protect your family.
Yeah, to protect your own progeny.
A true lesson for life there.
Yeah.
Oh, very cute. Wow. I'm going to read more into that because that sounds really interesting. Wolves you just think of as being big, scary, cool things, but now like the actual, genuine badasses.
Yeah, the social.
There's the
social
thread in case you want to go down there.
Thank you, Potter. Would you boys like another question?
Yes, please.
This one comes from Stephen Norrie, agent of GIRL at Stephen_Norrie on Twitter. You are given free rein to perform an experiment on a child. Don't worry, it's a good experiment. Don't worry. Okay. Whereby you teach them one wrong or inaccurate fact and try to see whose child will get the oldest before finding out the truth. What do you choose? For example, teach them that the name of the colour brown is actually yellow.
Oh, wow.
This is a good one. It's like,
so you're going to gaslight a child?
Yes, for a bit of fun, for a bet.
So all three of us are competing. We've all got our own child, and we're all telling our respective child one lie, and the winner for us three is whoever convinces their child for the longest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got to be something that can slip under the radar for long enough, but not be so obscure.
Oh, I've got one, which I don't know if I should name names, but someone I know who thought that this was true for the longest time. I don't think they were told this, but they just assumed it from context, that Timbuktu was a fictional place. Because people talk about how, well, I can't think of an example.
From here to Timbuktu.
Or where's he come from? Timbuktu? It just sounds like a kind of made up,
it's not real,
fictional place, like a Dr. Seuss location or something. So maybe I'd go with that Timbuktu is not a real place.
I like that. That's good because that's like you hear that and it does sound ridiculous. There's no issue there, and you never really read about Timbuktu. That's going to dawn on an
ignorant, sheltered white person, then you might believe it for a long time.
Wow.
I mean, it's not wrong. What about, and this isn't something that would necessarily go beyond childhood because I think people would think it was cute to begin with, and then it just takes one embarrassing incident for it to never happen again. But a plane can only take off if you salute the staff when you get aboard.
Okay.
Like when you're climbing up the stairs to get on a plane, you've got to salute the what are they called? The crew. What are they called?
The cabin crew.
The cabin crew, yeah, exactly.
That could be more
the
than
hostesses and hosts.
More than an embarrassing situation. Like, imagine if you got on the plane and for some reason you forgot. Maybe you've had like a beer or something in the bar before you got on. Then you sit down in your chair. Everyone straps their seatbelts on, and as it's taxiing out to the runway, you're suddenly like, oh god, I forgot to salute. Everyone, stop the plane.
Stop the plane, I got to salute. I was thinking it would be more obvious because you would see other people get on the plane and not salute, which is probably something that a child wouldn't necessarily notice, or they just think, well, I've got to do it because it's my duty. Because, children don't think about themselves that much. They're people of the world, children. And when they got older, they would notice kind of like a Santa Claus Father Christmas situation. They would notice that, hang on a minute, something doesn't feel right. But yeah, at least for a while, there'd be a glorious few years where every time they get on a plane, they salute the staff, because I think this plane's not going to take off if I don't do it.
I'm torn between, like, in terms of keeping it secret the longest, like giving them a different meaning for like a common phrase or something, like it's raining cats and dogs.
Oh yeah.
Like, say it came from a a freak disaster where cats and dogs rained for like a couple of minutes in 1713 or something like that.
Well, I think it sort of did though, didn't it? It's the fact that, I don't know if this is true, but
wait, what?
I've heard that an origin of that phrase is that back in the olden days, whenever that was, if you had absolutely horrendous torrential rain, i.e. it's raining cats and dogs, occasionally you would get dead strays in the street because they like drowned or like froze to death or whatever.
They get like swept in and oh man.
Or swept, yeah, or like they get caught in the gutters or whatever. And so you would come out in the morning and it looks like it's rained cats and dogs because there's a couple of dead dogs and cats in the street. That might be one of those made up explanations of things. So yeah,
that sounds believable, but okay, well, maybe not that, because my fake one is maybe actually true. I think I'd go down the route riffing off when my teacher told a student that don't eat the bottom of the banana because that's where the spiders lay their eggs. I think I'll just go,
oh god,
don't eat the apple pips because they are poisonous. Like, they will kill you if you eat one, and if you do eat one, you got to go to the doctors.
I mean, that's also believable because they've got cyanide in them.
They are a little just tell them just a little fib. That just one will kill you. Keep them on their toes every time they're biting that apple.
That's good, based on fact. Yeah. Maybe that's the best way to go.
Yeah, just take it to the extreme.
Although you have a good point as well, Ben. With the difficult thing with all of these lies is that the world isn't complicit in your lie, right? So someone from the world, the big wide world, is going to blow your cover. However, maybe the way to win this bet would just be to tell them that Father Christmas is real, because that is one lie where people are kind of complicit in it and they won't really spoil it for someone who's, around the kind of borderline age where they might know and they might not. And, you can be like 8 or 9 or 10 and people still don't want to bring themselves to say, oh yeah, well, of course, it's your mum and dad who does it,
Yeah.
Tell them not to believe those lies. Those are the lies. He is actually real.
What about you're not allowed off the plane
till you salute,
unless you clap? Well, not the salute. You have to clap when you land.
Yeah.
Otherwise. And again, as a child, that's fine. And it's the kind of thing that some people actually do is clap. So the stars might align. You're like, oh, score. They've only flown once this year. They're 14 and they've clapped and someone else has clapped as well. And that's only going to reinforce their worldview.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone has to clap before you're allowed to get off the plane.
Yeah.
So if it's just them, then it's fine. Because I've done it. I've taken care of it. Thank me later, everyone.
Yes. People under 18 have to clap or they're not allowed on another plane again.
Yeah.
That's it.
There we go. Ruining children's lives one lie at a time. Thank you very much, boys.
Yep.
I can go first unless, Peter, you're itching to get your thing out.
By all means, go ahead if you wish.
So I was just Googling around for things to look at, and I came across a wonderful, wonderful story of a historic court jester. But the story itself wasn't quite enough to flesh out an entire thing. So I went a little bit more digging. I found some other key historic court jesters, because it's not something I ever really knew much about, other than person in silly hat dances and makes jokes. But it turns out there's actually some like real badasses out there and some really, really good stories. So I thought I'm going to share the story of 3 jesters with you, if that's all right.
Okay.
I've picked a difficult one to start with because it's a French person and French names are difficult. Triboulet? I'm going to put it in chat so maybe someone can help me.
Yeah.
Triboulet?
Yeah, Triboulet. Yeah.
Triboulet. Yeah, there we go. That sounds good. Thank you. We're workshopping pronunciations. I love it. The history and literature of European royal courts is littered with comically gifted jesters, but no court entertainer was as quick-witted as Triboulet. He served in French courts, he inspired the works of Victor Hugo, and he even saved his own life with a particularly cunning display of his talents. He was actually a chicken. Expecting the applause of courtiers, Triboulet once struck the king on his backside. Oh, how dare he. No. Francis I was about to have the jester executed, but offered mercy only if Triboulet could come up with an apology more offensive than the act of the spanking. And in response, he said, "I'm so sorry, Your Majesty, that I didn't recognise you. I mistook you for the Queen." Wow. I mean, he lived up. I think, that's a good way to one-up it. Unfortunately, the king's wife was the one person in the court who was strictly off limits from being poked fun of.
Oh, no.
The king was so furious that he ordered Triboulet's death. However, as a reward for the jester's long years of servitude, he permitted his jester to choose the manner of his death. And Triboulet's response marked the most memorable act of his life. And he said, "Good sir, Saint Nitouche and Saint reading's hard, isn't it? Really hard.
You're doing great, man.
Thanks.
We believe in you.
Maybe one day I'll get through a thing without flubbing it. Good sir, for Saint Nitouche's and Saint Pansard's sake, patrons of its sanity, I choose to die from old age." Remarkably, the king found this so humorous that he granted Triboulet banishment instead of death.
That cheeky
little boy managed to get out of it by choosing his own fate. So I mean, it wasn't great. He got banished from his lovely, probably quite lavish lifestyle. But hey, at least he left with his life.
Good for him.
Good for him. That. Well done. Next one is Lord Minimus, also known as the Queen's Dwarf. This is
Lord Minimus.
This is one I found like a little sentence which I thought was funny, and then I started reading more. Like, wow, this person's led a life. So, by the age of 25, Sir Geoffrey Hudson, also known as Lord Minimus, but referred to as Geoffrey from here in, reached just 3 foot 9 inches. And at the time, his size was attributed to his mother choking on a gherkin while pregnant. So,
of course. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, that happens. At age 7, Geoffrey's father decided to present his son to the Duchess Catherine Villiers at age 7. At the time, he stood just 1.5 feet in height, but he was perfectly proportioned. So he was essentially just like a shrunk down human. And from this, which I mean, most kids are kind of, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
And from this encounter, she decided to take him in and make a part of the royal family. But essentially, in these times, dwarfs weren't seen as people, but more as pets and playthings, kind of oddities to look at and gawk at. But, however, this life as a jester did at least grant him his own servants, like endless amounts of food to keep him full, and anything he could wish for. So, while a bit demeaning, it was slightly better than scraping by as a commoner. At least he was living in a sense of luxury. Well, it doesn't excuse the terrible treatment of these people. A common practice of the day was to impress guests via having obscenely large food items made and have random things burst out, like living birds, frogs, and even in one case, an entire 28-member orchestra, which that baffles the mind.
What did they cook? A big pie?
A gingerbread house, I imagine. That's the only way I can picture it. But
don't let Peter do it.
I'll eat the band as well.
In this particular case, the Duchess decided to surprise the King and Queen with a rather small pie that Geoffrey was scrunched up in. And at the appropriate moment, Geoffrey burst out of the pie wearing a small suit of armour, brandishing a little sword that he swung around wildly to the amusement of all. And from this moment, the Queen became instantly enamoured with Geoffrey and his remarkable smallness, it quotes here. And so she asked the Duchess if the Queen could take Geoffrey home and add him to her own little collection. And she was happy to oblige, and the Duchess handed Geoffrey over to the Queen in 1626. He was one of the several curiosities and pets, among whom were a giant Welsh porter named William Evans, 2 dwarfs, and a monkey called Pug, which I enjoy. And through this relationship with the other people, he later developed a routine with Evans, the very tall man, in which he'd pull Hudson out of his pocket, along with an entire loaf of bread, and make a sandwich out of him. Quite impressive.
Okay. Wow.
The Queen was enamoured with Geoffrey and saw to it that he became well educated, taught him the ways of being a gentleman, and in 1630 the Queen sent the then 10-year-old to France as part of a delegation to retrieve her midwife, Madame Perron. Geoffrey reportedly wowed the court in France with his dancing abilities, and in the process he collected quite a lot of rather expensive gifts and impressed members of the court. So he was doing well. He was going out touring the world, wowing the people and raking in the gifts and the big loaves of bread. Unfortunately for Jeff, this journey ended in disaster when the ship he was on, while headed back home, was captured by pirates. The midwife, Jeff, all his newfound valuables were taken away by the pirates. And when the Queen found out what happened, she was distraught, mainly for Geoffrey, and she was concerned with how she'd get him back. So luckily, the details are sparse here, but eventually Geoffrey did manage to make his way back to the Queen, and so did everyone else on the ship. It's assumed just by paying a massive ransom to get the boy back. He came back, and in 1644 in France, when he was about 25 years old, a gentleman of the court evidently decided to ignore Geoffrey's insistence that he was no longer some court pet to be teased. At this point, he was, a member of society. He'd earned his stripes, and everyone accepted him for who he was. Mm-hmm. But instead, this man insulted Geoffrey, and in some way, and this enraged Geoffrey, and so he challenged him to a duel. Challenge.
Jeff.
Yeah, go on, get him. Go get him. And this challenge was accepted, and it was going to be fought with pistols on horseback. So they're going big style on it.
Wow.
But the person who angered Geoffrey kind of took the whole thing as a joke. And so while Geoffrey prepped an actual real pistol, the opponent chose to brandish a water gun in the fight.
Oh, no.
They had water guns back then.
Yeah, which is kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought so. That's cool.
And yeah, for some reason it was here on the royal court next to all the other weapons. So yeah, Geoffrey got up on his horse, so was the other guy, and Geoffrey, being the keen marksman he was, just bam, fired the opponent right in the middle of eyes, blowing a hole in his head.
Oh,
and
wow.
So he badass, pretty badass, but sadly at the time in France, murder and duels were actually heavily illegal. So he'd actually just committed a terrible crime, even though all the royals in the presence were quite amused by this gruesome display that had taken place in front of them. So at this point, he was threatened with execution, but the Queen was able to barter, get him spared, and he was again exiled, much like our friend Triboulet. And again, this doesn't end here. He was yet again captured by pirates on a ship. Unfortunately, he was sold into slavery, and he was kind of lost for 25 years. Eventually, I think after that time, like, there was big efforts in getting English natives back to the land, away from, out of slavery, and he finally returned back to England. But unfortunately, he had grown considerably in this time, so he's no longer the short man he once was, and so he wasn't allowed back into his old job at the court.
Oh,
and sadly, the Queen.
Jeff.
I know, he could have just gone around on his knees to at least get back in there, get on the payroll again. And sadly, at the time, the Queen that had looked after him so much had recently died, so he didn't really have much of a leg to stand on. But at least, thankfully, they decided to give him like a little small settlement to help him set up with his new life. And it was all going quite well. He'd got settled. He was living quite comfortably until one fateful day when he travelled to London in 1676 just to request his pension. And sadly, this was at the peak of anti-Catholic sentiment in the country. And this saw Geoffrey promptly arrested upon arriving in London for the sole crime of daring to be Catholic.
Oh,
what a bastard.
Absolute bastard.
How could he?
This was a faith that he'd only taken up as a youth because of the Queen. Very, very sad. And so he spent the next 4 years or so in prison. He was released in 1680. And what he got up to after then, he kind of faded into obscurity and sadly died 2 years later with an unmarked grave, despite officially being a knight and a captain of the horse. So he lived a life, but sadly.
Good grief.
Yeah.
It's an incredible life.
But yeah, sadly, he didn't get the recognition he deserved. That's why we're mentioning you now here on Podiots, Jeffrey. Big respect, big love. On to the main event. Big love. The main event. This is what really got me interested. Roland the Farter.
Oh, God.
Okay, good stuff.
On brand. Sadly, there's a distinct lack of information surrounding the delightfully tilted jester, but there are a few things that we do know. Roland was a medieval flatulist who lived in 12th century England. Court jester to King Henry II, Roland was best known for one thing and one thing alone: breaking wind. Of course.
Good.
While little is written about Roland, one thing that we do know is that his particular skill set was reserved for only one performance a year. He only performed at the King Henry's rip-roaringly riotous Christmas celebrations. So it'd be like a big old Christmas treat. Get Roland out. Come on, get him to do his routine.
Yeah, the fart man. He's been eating beans all year.
He's going to be rip-roaring for sure.
Roland was recorded as culminating his foolery with, and this is Latin, unum saltum et stifletum et unum bumbulum. And as he did this, a simultaneous... I think that is a Latin description of what he did. But the actual act was a simultaneous jump, whistle, and a fart.
That was it. That's his big moment over the whole
It's only to be seen once a year. It's the show to watch.
To be fair,
how do you practice something like that without just shitting yourself?
I guess that's why he does it once a year. It keeps the failure rate down.
Yeah.
I think if he did that every week, you'd pretty quickly get tired of it. So I think once a year, he made the right move with it.
Imagine if on the day you just didn't feel like you could fart. Like you just, sometimes... If you sort of went in the morning and now you're kind of fine, and then the moment arrives, what do you do?
Yeah, God, that must be terrifying. Yeah, King Henry, he'd have your head off if he couldn't perform on cue.
But then I suppose it'd be scary enough that it would probably make you want to fart, so you'd probably be fine.
Oh man, that's my little romp through jesters in history with the delightful jump, whistle, and fart.
What a treat!
Incredible. Thank you, Mikey.
That's all right. I kind of want to try and emulate that and see if it's possible, because
you can do it. I know. It
sounds a bit tricky.
On a skateboard.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I'll call it the Roland
kickflip.
There we go. That's my new goal for 2021. Would you boys?
Heard you're the best at doing mad pumps on your
pumps.
Skateboard.
I fucking did.
What in your shreddies like?
Got an extra 50 worth of beans.
You comfortable there, like?
Yeah, already does sound a bit like a fart, doesn't it? Oh, fantastic. Well, would you like another question?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I know which one it is. Oh, I can't find it. There we go. Yep. This one comes from Jared G at Like a Glove 90. Mike, Benji, Petey. You get to choose one Vidiots video that's beamed to the entire world's TV sets and media devices for an entire day. What do you choose?
Oh no,
God,
please,
day.
Not Wallace.
We would start so many wars with any of them.
Yeah.
Someone would take real issue with pretty much everything we've done, I think.
I guess it's what kind of route do you want to go down? Do you want to try and pacify people, or do you want to be that instigator?
Some of our best videos are the shortest ones. Like, for example, Peter gets hit by a car, it's quite funny. The Margaret video is very funny. But the shorter the video, the more times they're going to see it in one day. Whereas if we pick post some tat, the final tat, that would only go around like 5 times.
True. Yeah.
But that would be just a kind of a pacifist approach. That would just be the most merciful thing. Whereas just, for example, maybe the game selection with the fart in it would be great, just on loop all day.
I'm looking on the back end now, just in preparation for what came out this week. And what if we just played Let's see.
Chad.
Just gone past. Yeah, well, I was going to say there's an unlisted video here we recorded for someone's anniversary.
Yeah.
And it's just called Happy Anniversary, and the thumbnail isn't like there's no thumbnail. It's just a clip of the video, and we're just sat there next to each other on the sofa.
Yeah.
That it's 2 minutes long. That for 24 hours.
Just wishing happy anniversary to
Happy Anniversary.
I wonder if that's the video we did with people where the electricity went out midway through you recording it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was fun. Just suddenly went dark
That's the
in the
video.
middle.
There we are. Just sat there.
Oh no, this isn't it. But yeah.
There was like a behind the scenes clip that we put on Twitter at the time, I think, saying, all the power's gone out. We just did a little fly on the wall candid clip, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
At the time, impromptu.
I think, did you leave me in there? I seem to remember you guys just walked out on camera and I just stayed in the dark. I don't know if that's right.
We have to go watch it afterwards to have a look.
Yeah,
now,
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Because you're right. Like, it seems there's no perfect video because even like with the worst games ever, even with the games that are just so awful, there's always at least one commenter who's like, actually, this game's great and you're wrong, totally unironically. So I say we just go for Tiny Peter dancing, doing the Han Solo
that's
dance.
a good one.
Just the green screen.
Yeah, just the green screen.
Bring the world together.
There you go. By the end of the day, the whole world will be dancing with Peter, and it'll be beautiful. And I like to think that would.
I would choose What's in the Case, because then we can get Dave Benson Phillips back on national TV.
Oh my god, it's a brilliant idea.
On television all over the world.
It's his dream.
I bet it feels stupid because he was like, I really fucking phoned that in. I should have tried hard. I should have put in at least a little bit of effort.
Oh man, yeah, no, I like that. I like. Oh yeah, you're doing the world good. Well, you're doing Dave good with that one, Peter.
Dave good.
Perfect.
Peter, would you like to roll into your thing-a-ling?
I'd love to roll into my thing-a-ding. So my parents are currently moving house, and they've been going through some stuff that's like in the attic and, little sort of keepsakes and stuff. And they found a book of mine that was a present for my, 5th birthday. And you guys must be aware of this. You might have forgotten that this is a concept, but when I remind you, you'll remember. It's one of those books where there was a selection of like maybe 8 on the advert in like a magazine or something. And what you do is you fill out probably on paper rather than on the internet in those days. You get like a little form and you write the name of the person who the book is for and a little bit more information like where they come from, who their 2 best friends are, and what their favourite food is or whatever.
Yeah.
And those words then get put into an actual bound storybook all about that person going on an adventure and things happening to them. And they've got, the information is in there as though it's like a special book just about you.
Yeah, my brother had one of those. I remember like finding it in the attic. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. It's got his name like in it. This is mad. It's a Christmas story one.
Well, I'm going to show you the cover of the book that I'm in, and I'm going to read it to you.
Oh, story time, yeah.
Yeah, story time. Let me just... hang on, pull up the... I've got it here. I've got a picture. Hang on, it's coming.
Yep.
He's doing it.
Yep.
It's uploading.
More any second.
It's there.
Oh, flipping egg, it's a Batman book.
It's
Holy
a
shit.
Batman
my god, what?
So that's the front cover. Just going to add that to the thread for those.
You know Bruce?
I know Bruce. Me and Bruce go way back. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh my god, that's sick.
It's pretty sick. So here's the book. And what I'm going to do as well, because I don't want to dox either myself or people who are named in this book. So I'm going to replace... it talks about my siblings. It names my siblings. And I'm going to replace it with Ben and Mikey instead of the names of my...
So we're going to be in
So
this
you're
story?
going to be mentioned in this story.
Oh, this is the best day ever.
I hope Batman beats me up.
Well, he might do. Just you wait and see. So here we go. Peter and Batman solve the case of the stolen robot With love from Granny and Grandpa, 1997.
That was very sweet.
Peter, aged 5, looked out of the taxi window. He was very excited. All around him were the skyscrapers of Gotham City. Gotham was even bigger than he had imagined when he was at home in Bristol with Ben and Michael.
Hey!
It's us.
It says
That's our names.
My village in here. That's in there. Peter still couldn't believe he had won a competition on the radio. The prize was a free visit to Toy Tower, the world's largest toy shop. It was closing for the night, and Peter was going to have the whole shop to play in. And there's a picture, it's like POV, of me sitting in the back of a Gotham taxi on my own as a 5-year-old, which is perfect. As Peter was getting out of the taxi, he noticed a delivery van speeding away from the department store. Written on the side of the van were the words Fellini Movers or Feline Movers. Oh. Peter caught a glimpse of the driver as the van passed by. The driver was wearing a dark mask with pointy ears. That's strange, Peter thought. Maybe the driver was going to a fancy dress party after work. Peter shrugged. Gotham City was a peculiar place. And just for context, I'm going to send you the picture of the Fellini Movers van.
Okay.
So do
you want this adding to the thread?
If you would, yeah, that would be great.
Oh, does it have any information on the other screen?
No, that's fine. It's just got my name in it. But you can see who's driving the van there if you use your powers of
my bat
detective
vision.
work. Yeah, okay. Peter wanted to play with the world famous Cat 2000. That's KAT 2000.
Rad.
A cat-shaped robot made just for children. It could play games, help around the house, even make milkshakes. Toy Tower had the only one in the whole world. When Peter went inside, he found out that the Cat 2000 had been stolen. The police were looking for clues, but the thief had left no trace. The shop manager sighed. "We may never get the Cat 2000 back," she said. Don't be so sure of that," said a deep voice. Everyone turned round to look. Peter couldn't believe it. Batman was there.
Wow.
What?
Just then,
What?
Peter remembered something important. He told Batman about the strange van he had seen. The driver was wearing a dark mask with pointy ears. Asked Batman. "There's something else," Peter said. "I saw on the television that the Cat 2000 runs on a special kind of battery. Won't the thief need a supply of those?" "Yes." Batman looked at Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
Could you recognise that van again if you saw it? Peter nodded. Batman smiled. "Would you like to go for a ride?" "Oh, yes, please, Batman."
This is wildly irresponsible of Batman.
It is. There's a double-page spread of Batman jumping into the Batmobile without a child in shot, because I guess she might be buying this book for a boy or girl with different coloured hair. It's just Batman in the Batmobile on his own. Peter followed Batman to the Batmobile. He could hardly believe what was happening. "Where are we going?" he asked. "To the Supervault battery factory," Batman said. "That's where the Cat 2000's battery pack is made. I have a feeling you're right. The thief will have to stock up on the special batteries, or the robot will be useless." The Batmobile zoomed through the streets of Gotham City. In no time at all, Batman and Peter arrived at the factory. "There it is!" Peter cried. The Fellini Movers delivery van was parked outside the factory. A dark figure was loading crates into the van. In the glow of a streetlight, Peter saw the pointy ears of a mask. "That's the driver I saw," he told Batman. "Just as I suspected," said Batman. "It's Catwoman." He pointed to something shiny in the back of the van. "There's the Cat 2000. And there's a picture of a cat in the back of the van. It's a robotic cat. I'll spare you many, many pictures of the illustrations, but it's there. "Catwoman, it's all over," Batman announced as he leapt from the Batmobile. "That's what you think," Catwoman replied. She grabbed the Cat 2000 and ran. Batman threw his batarang, winding a rope around her legs. "Look out!" Peter yelled. "The Cat 2000's going to fall!" And she's dropping it in the picture. Peter jumped out of the Batmobile and caught the Cat 2000 just before he hit the ground. The robot was safe.
Catwoman breaks several of Peter's fingers.
Yeah.
And picks up the cat and leaves.
Blinds him with her whip for the rest of his life. "Nice work, Peter," said Batman. "Drat!" cried Catwoman. I really wanted that robot. It's perfect for me.
Nice.
I know, Peter said. You're a cat, spelt with a K, A-T. You're a cat burglar. Nice one, Peter. Good quip there.
Does Batman laugh? Does it say if Batman laughs?
No, Batman didn't laugh.
Batman no-sells the joke.
Like, hey, I was going to say that, you piece of shit. Back home in Bristol, Peter told Ben and Michael all about his exciting adventure. The police had arrived and arrested Catwoman. Batman had slipped away into the shadows. The manager of Toy Tower was thrilled to get the Cat 2000 back. Peter finally went on his tour of the toy shop with the amazing robot as his guide. Best of all, Peter received a postcard. Dear Peter, it said, thanks for your help in solving the Cat 2000 robbery. I couldn't have done it without you. Batman.
Oh,
and then at the end, it says, Peter, enjoy this book. A special gift from Granny and Grandpa.
Oh, lovely.
Oh,
thank you very
delightful.
much. So that was made by the Personalised Book Company in Norfolk.
They still going? Let's have a look.
There's a landline number for them. I'm going to Google the number. You Google the Personalised Book Company.
Personalised Book Company.
They're at the Dis Business Centre. Dis with 2 S's.
Oh, I don't know if there's lots of personalized book option websites, many of them paid ads on Google, but none of them have that specific name. What's the number, Peter? I will actually call it if you want to put it in the chat.
It comes up on, if you Google it, it does say the Personalised Book Company, but it might be in a really old phone book archive webpage or something. Here's the number.
Right.
If you want to ring it.
Oh my God, this is exciting.
The landline. I'd be very surprised if this still works.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, I'm nervous.
No, call failed.
Damn it!
Let me just double check I got the right number. Yeah, it looks like it's gone.
Oh, that's a shame.
Boop, boop, boop.
You can still see it in the top 2 results. If you Google the number, it does say the Personalised Book Company in Dis, but they must just be from old phone book, archived
what a shame.
stuff. There you go. That's the story of how me and Batman rescued the KAT 2000 robot.
It's incredible. Thank you, Peter.
Story.
Absolutely riveting. Yeah, love it.
Thanks.
Right, time for one last question. We're going sporty themed tonight, I think. That's the theme today. This one's from Shauna at StrangePenny12 on Twitter. What events would be included in the Vidiots Olympic Games?
Oh, God.
We had, this is, I guess, an expansion on the Alcohol Olympics. Now we're making the Vid Olympics. Olympiads? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I like that.
Olympiads?
Yeah.
Why not?
I still feel really bad. I think it was the first worst games ever we recorded for Vidiots. I threw Billy and I broke his little wooden guitar. It's still broken, isn't it?
Still broken to this day. Yeah.
Oh man. I feel bad. I think actually in my room somewhere I've got a wooden guitar that someone laser cut for us.
People sent us super glue. To fix him, and we never
didn't.
And were you just to finish your train of thought? Were you going to suggest lobbing Billy around as an Olympic event?
Yeah. Why not?
He's already fucked, isn't he? So I'll just ruin him.
I'm trying to think of a pun based on discus.
Piscus.
Walrus.
Tuscus.
Walrus.
Tuscus.
Yeah. Tuscus.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Maybe part of the challenge is you get a bonus point if you don't break the guitar. It's just a special thing. Wow, you really got control of that, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see a little pink toy fly through the air. As I once did to that poor little walrus.
Like a shot put.
Yeah, like that. Oh, shot put.
How far can you throw it?
Where shot puts? No, I'm thinking of clay pigeon shooting. Not clay pigeon shooting. That's too harrowing to watch.
No, not that one. We're not doing that one.
Billy Clay Walrus, clay pigeon shooting. That'd be horrible.
What about a car dodging?
Yeah, nice.
Hurdles. The 100-meter car hurdles.
I'd actually like to see how quickly people can wrap someone else up in 2 rolls of bubble wrap, because that took ages and it made me feel really sick because I kept having to spin and I was I'm stopping. Can you keep running around?
You can go around me. Yeah. God.
Yeah, that'd be a good team effort.
Maybe something to do with cooking chicken dippers.
I was thinking
That's a
like
challenge.
like an eating competition. Whoever can eat the most smiley faces, chicken dippers and beans wins.
Yeah.
I'm going to win that one.
What about fastest person to run around the car park near Mikey's flat holding 2 sticks out in front of them as though they are mopeds, handlebars?
But to add insult to injury, all footage of that event is never shown.
Yeah.
And they just do it and they feel stupid doing it and they feel even more stupid afterwards.
Yeah.
Why did we not even? Why did we? We just had a very good reason for not using that because we put a lot of work into it.
I thought
you filmed it.
Didn't we use like 5 seconds of it? I thought we used a little tiny bit of that. Maybe we didn't.
I didn't think we used any aerial footage, and because there was no, you can get away with anything if you've got a camera on you, obviously in public. But Mikey was up on we've spoken about this before. He's on the balcony of his flat, and so everyone was just looking. There's 2 guys in wigs and a moustache running around with sticks, and it's just
with no one filming them, seemingly.
It's humiliating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want an Olympic version of you're in the movies. Whoever can make the best one. All the countries pitted against each other.
But it's just the same shitty software every time. God, what would a gold medal performance be in that? What we did.
I think we're Oscar winners.
We set the bar. Try and beat that. You're not gonna, but you can try.
You're not fucking gonna, mate.
There should be a sport or an Olympic event for who can do the most controlled splat.
And then Neil walks out and says, "This."
Yeah. You tried it yourself.
This is the controlled splat. Gold medal.
Nice.
Brilliant.
I think that's it. I'm spent. I'm spent.
Yeah.
Beyond just the gold medal for getting 50,000 subscribers, but we didn't get that one.
We never got there. We're falling further and further away from it every week.
Sadly, yeah, we lose like 100 people a week, I think, is the average.
Yeah, and that's been going on for years. We need a viral video. Can we just release a video called Viral Video?
See what happens.
See what happens. I think that's how it works on Google. But
yeah.
Who fucking knows? Mikey, thank you so much for organising the questions this week.
I did see it. I was just going to say, before we move away from that point, I did see a recommended YouTube video the other day that was called YouTube, please do not recommend this video. And it was like 2 weeks old, and I'm pretty sure it had like 2 million views or something, which was just infuriating to see. I might be exaggerating the numbers there, but I'm pretty sure it was something along those lines.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
We should have
stupid platform.
That should have been every video title at Vidiots. Please don't watch this video. Please don't recommend this video.
Yeah, that's how it would work.
That would have changed everything. But never mind.
There we are, everybody. That is the end of Podiots. Not forever, just this time. If you go to store.yogscast.com, there's actually some physical merchandise you can buy, and I believe there's a US store as well. Isn't that right, Mikey?
Yeah, you're right indeed. So if you head over to store.yogscast.com, there's a little link at the top there if you're in them United States of America, where you can see some of the things, but with slightly cheaper shipping. You can find a whole host of lovely things, like, Boof's got a new shirt. It's got cats and metal robot cats on it. What's not to love? I want that. Ooh. But you know what's better than that? Is all the cool, swaggy Vidiot stuff that's on there. We got t-shirts, hoodie, mug. God, they're so fly and so cool. And if you want to be so fly, so swag, so cool, you can buy them for yourself. But if you want to save a little bit of money, you can use code VIDIOTS at checkout for 10% off absolutely everything. On the Yogscast store. That's right, Ben. Everything using code VIDIOTS.
Brilliant. Look at that. Go do it.
Yeah, do it.
Please. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots Official. Also twitch.tv/Vidiots Official. It auto hosts both Triple Jump and Parrot Boy, so you never miss any of our streams if you're not coming to us directly. But you can go give us a follow on there if you like. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. Once more, here is this week's Pod Squad.
Hitler's, Nazi, Minge, Binge, Specky Beckers. Sorry, Jesus, I got Cheggers and Becky mixed up there. Specky Becky, Cheggerall Nobbage, Awesome Fox 42, Katiekin Solo, Release Mikey Cut Skyrim Zoo, An Excellent Message, Stukalicious, OG, Lola Bunny Porn, Donak 07, The Generous Magic Thighs, Teenage Mutant Bastard Crabs, Cheath Kegwin, RIP, Cishet Footboy, oh Jesus, Michael, Cishet Fuckboy, Cheggers, there we go, just got to put some oomph into it, Lord Brotovich, Pro Trainer, Fred Weber, Dove's Lick, Stephen Skodes, Big Titty Jesus 42, The Bus What Couldn't Slow Down, The Generous Addy Pramana 7, Dogging with Dick and Dom, The Bus What Couldn't Slow Down, Spread Pachiti Beans, Benis, we're going for Benis, my lover.
Jason Allenby, Mr. Macca, Prince Beefcakes, Always an Adventure, Cherry Got Engaged, Axel's Alive 95, Shreddy Murphy's Donkey, Laurie Wales Yee Laws, The Very Generous Deluxe Man on Tweeter Twatter, Grumble Wank Boppis McGraw, Swinging with the Crankies, Cheeky Neil Buchanandos, Cheggers Peggers Play Pop, the incredibly generous Dave Bacon Phillips, Scott Chegg, still love that, Kez of Gallifrey, Shart Trek Wrath of Dominoes, Energetic Cat or Spunky Pussy, Living Breathing Poo Factory, Tiny Peter Big Bumpis, Ben's Oily Bread, Chegley Searides, Finn Tristram, and Rootin' Tootin' Vladimir Putin.
We also have the very generous, but wait, there's more. The obscenely generous, I love you, Miss Cornforth. Then we've got Mike, Oxmall, Friar Took, Michael Schumacher, going to skip the rest of that one, Sub and Dom in the Bungalow, Michael Jugson's Mum's Jugs, Dave Benson Nipslips, Mars Bar, Cheggers Doesn't Do Camel Case, Just Jake, Perfect Camel Case, Non-Upple Jump, A Well-Trained Bear, Just Keep Swimming Ash, Jobby Jabaloony, Mikey's Detol Twitch Stream, Mr. Macca, Lord Dabad... Oh, come on, man. Lord Dabadi Barchinko. Fucking... What are you playing at?
It's perfect.
A very generous, no witty name. So Nick Gage, Kevin from Con, Big Titty Jesus 42, Neil Buchanan's Fart Attack, Fuck My Fuck You Fuck, and Connor rolls his ankles. And there we are. That is your pod squad. Once again, streamlabs.com/Podiots donations, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for your generosity.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Would you guys like to know what came out on Vidiots / is coming out on Vidiots this week?
I'd love to know.
Yes,
we've actually got 4 weeks to get through because we didn't do last episode.
Shit,
did we?
okay.
So what does this go up to? The next episode. This episode's on the 13th, so the 27th of July is what we're going up to. Here we go. Vidiots channel update. Which wasn't It's Changing. It's Worst Games Ever is weekly. And I think we said Podiots was... Yeah, it's a good one. WarioWare on steroids, Bishy Bashy Special. A Troubling Start, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 1. Remember that?
That's good.
Yeah, a few dams.
Post some tat number 20, Billy Ray Walrus. Noob versus Pro, Quake 3 Arena Challenge. You remember when you were a pro, Mikey?
Yeah, and I got... okay, I played it a couple of times in the past and then got trounced.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Good times.
Worst Games Ever, London Police Racer. Police Madness. Marrying Chickens, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 2. The World's Most Derangerous Hunter, Hunting Unleashed or something.
I watched that recently. It's a good video.
It's a terrible game, isn't it?
Yeah.
My God. Ben Goes to KFC, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 3. Podiots Episode 10, Boppis, featuring Cultaholic. I think Sam and Ross were in that episode.
Yeah.
Post some tat number 21, Stab Proof Mikey. That's where you got your not very bulletproof vest, and we stabbed it.
Didn't have a bulletproof slab inside it. It was just the empty vest.
Yeah.
Like, let's stab Mikey.
I came out in one piece. It's fine.
You're fine. I was wearing my glasses in that. No one else was, so I was... Worst Games Ever, Smarties Meltdown.
Oh, classic.
Oh, no!
My exosuit's
been ate.
We're getting a divorce, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 4. Wrestling with Friends, The Simpsons Wrestling featuring Cultaholic. Ben Makes a Sex Worker, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 5. That was limited ad suitability because we said sex worker.
Naughty.
But if we'd have said hoe, would have probably been completely removed events. So there we are. We did a piece of cake, WWE 2K18 one-handed challenge, featuring Adam Pacitti and his very sunburned legs.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, good times.
Possum Tat number 22, filling our nappies. It's when someone sent us some nappy samples. That was nice.
Cute.
The first episode of the Let's Play of the Fallout New Vegas Prove It.
Oh.
Which led to a very good live action one. Worst Games Ever, Tweeny's Game Time. I think we called Simon Miller for that one. We're nearly there now, guys. We've got a few more videos to go. We were so busy making great content, weren't we? If only people fucking
Too
watched
busy to
it.
notice that the channel was failing.
I think we were very aware. That's what made it harder.
Yes.
Becoming Building Gods, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 6. The 1,000-Yard Stare, WCW Backstage Assault featuring Cultaholic. Worshipping False Idols, Vanilla Minecraft Episode 7. The second Let's Play episode of the Prove It for Fallout New Vegas. Podiots Episode 11, Dog Rap, featuring Cultaholic.
Excellent.
Really got our money's worth out of Cultaholic, didn't we? Happy Anniversary, the 2-minute unlisted video that 10 people watched. There we go. Possum Tat number 23, Fishy Burger Boys. I have no idea. I think maybe we got the burger pillows.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah, the pillow that's supposed to smell of burgers, but just smelt of factory
solvents. Yeah. In my opinion, one of the best videos we've ever made, Fallout New Vegas in real life, live action finale.
Yeah,
a work of art.
Big fan of that one. And finally, the first ever Draw the Fans. And that is everything that has come out over the last/next 2 weeks. Yes, that makes sense. That's 4 weeks worth of content.
4 week period, yeah.
Oh, the fucking Fallout live action video. Are you kicking the baby down the road? It goes into like the
Fallout
menu music. Everybody just like
Football
that.
was coming home that summer as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
It's all kicking off. Anyway, there we are. I need to lie down now. Mikey, where are you on the internet?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter and also on the Twitch. I stream on occasion, but busy boy, so it's a bit ad hoc. But keep your eyes peeled. I do fun stuff sometimes.
Peter,
I am that Peter Austin on Twitter and Instagram. Ben is confused_dude on just Twitter. But together we are Team Triple Jump on Twitter, Facebook, but more importantly on YouTube and Twitch. So we do live streams on the reg. And we do lots of different video formats, including lists, but lists that we want to do that don't make us feel creatively stifled. And also Worst Games Ever and occasional fun little bits of shows, which will be resuming probably in the next few weeks and months because we're actually returning to the office.
Oh
my God.
Things
it's
like
happening.
silly cooking and stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, as mentioned at the end of the Triple Jump podcast last week, Triple Jump is changing.
It is.
It's happening towards the end of this week. Something's going on. It's very exciting. Come over and check us out. Finally, why not leave us an iTunes I fucking hate this sentence even though I wrote it. Why not leave us an iTunes review or a review/rating on your platform of choice? It helps. Something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. Do we have a final question before we go?
No.
No.
Or have we already done that? We've already done that gag, I think, where you've said, do we have a final question? I went, no. So, can't do
We
that.
could do it again. We can ask what it is.
What is it? I'm always tempted to ask, could you just give us some final questions to use for future Podiots? So we've got bags
That's the question this week. What final questions should we ask in future episodes?
Yeah, that's a good one.
There we go.
We can ask that one every week, technically.
Yeah.
There we are. Right, look after yourselves, everybody. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll I was going to say get you next time. Get you next time, Captain Hook. What? We'll see. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.